The actors from the Hammer House of Horror franchise. First of all, we have Judy. Judy, you coming in? Welcome. Round of applause, please. And Pauline. Oh, there's loads of people there with cameras. Trust me, they're everywhere. So, if you want to get yourselves comfortable. So, how are we both doing today? Are we okay? Should we use the mic? Is it on?
Yes,
There you go.
Yes. Hello everyone.
Stick that close.
Hello everyone. I hope you're having a good day, a good afternoon so far. And it's so lovely to meet all of you today. It's a difficult time.
She's a talker.
With the train strike, you're still here, so thank you for coming. Round of gratitude. So, I'm enjoying this.
Okay, so I'm going to fire some questions at you both individually, and I'll ask you some questions overall from what you've done, from experiences and things like that. So, Hammer House of Horror, is anyone here familiar with this? You must be because you sat down in front. So, I'm going to start with yourself. Jody, I'm going to start with Judy, sorry. Slap my wrist every time I get it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to start with yourself. So how did you get involved in this? How did your acting career start?
This is what
Yeah.
I'm very conventional. I'm like most Hammer girls. I actually went to drama school, and then I went to Bristol Great Theatre and did a tour of America. We played Broadway. So I started in the theatre.
Right.
And then I came to London and got a wonderful agent, put me up for wonderful stuff, and eventually I was to do Hammer.
Okay.
And then when I'd done the first Hammer film, I was asked by the same producers to come to the next one.
So it rolled on from the first one to the next one. So you sort of probably built a good work ethics there with the people you work with, strong relationships.
Exactly. They did tend to use all the lesser actors a repertory company. They do seem to use a repertory company, the same actors, if they liked your work,
Yeah.
and you turned up on time, they were going to do a third sequel. They did 3.
Okay.
They were going to do a third, but then I think the Americans just withdrew the money.
Right, not like the Americans do that, is it? So you said you were at drama school and things like that. So what age were you when you started doing the drama?
In drama school or as work?
As in for your sort of coming into the film industry.
That would have been about 23.
So nowadays they start a lot younger, don't they? So
Not if they go to a proper drama school. So you have to start at 18 and do 3 years.
yes,
And then if you know what you're doing, you go
Yes.
to the theatre for at least a year.
yeah,
So that takes you right up to 21, 22. If they start early, the schools, there are schools, aren't there? Schools of the arts.
there are,
Where
yeah,
the children, the girls and the students start very early.
they do, yes.
But I'm not sure if that's how actors do. I'm not sure they do.
So your sort of experience for your education in drama training and things like that was spread over, say, 4 or 5 years, would you say?
My drama training was 3 years.
3 years.
And then at the end of it, you actually got a degree. I got a degree in teaching as well. At the
Okay.
same time. I was at drama school exactly the same time, in exactly the same class as Helen Mirren.
Wow.
And she did the same course, and she is a qualified teacher, which will surprise a lot of people.
Okay.
And she's always like friends.
Wow.
That's how I started. Is this interesting?
I think it is, yeah, they're all still here, no one's disappeared, we're all good. So, on to yourself, so how did you sort of start out in the career? I think we had a little chat earlier, didn't we? And you sort of...
We did. I started up at my school, a drama teacher, and I should go into acting as well. And she used to put me in everything. Hate the woman, because I wanted to say no, but I had no right.
Okay.
So I did, and I went into modeling, and I got accepted at a drama school. And the first time I was there, I got offered a part.
Right, okay.
And it was for a play. And I went, okay, love to do that, hate this. And I did the play. I also had a wonderful time with the play. Murders were taking place at the time, and there was a killer, as you know, by the name of Rose, the West.
Right, where are we going with this?
I'm telling you how it all happened.
Okay, go on then.
And we were doing Equus as a rep in Leeds.
Okay.
Only to find out that at the stage door, he'd murdered one of the women there.
Jeez.
So I went, I'm giving up acting. I'm going home. I'm too young to die. It's not the right day to die, or it's not the right night to die. And I couldn't wait. So I invited friends up there to stay until we finished. I came back to London, and I was offered another play, and they were going on tour again, and I went, hell no, I don't want to do this. But it was a lovely part. It had Robert Coote and Maureen. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And we did the tour.
So how old were you when you were at this stage of your career?
17, 18.
17, 18?
Actually, I wasn't even 17, I was lying. I was tall,
Yeah.
so I got away with it.
Right.
And I told people I was 18 or 21. At 21 I could do it, so I became 21.
Okay, so you sort of pulled the wool over people's eyes a little bit until you got to that limit, and then you went, oh,
Yes,
yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
And when you tower over people, you get away with a lot of things. You even get invited to clubs where you shouldn't be.
Okay, well, we won't talk about that one here. Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay. So I then had to go back. I decided I'd go to Mountview Theatre, where I could do certain classes and still work.
Right.
So they fitted it in, and my manager was very good.
So basically, you guys have had similar sort of starting points with working into the industry.
Yes.
And then, have you ever sort of worked with similar actors? As in the same actors, as in I know Barbara Windsor. You worked at Barbara Windsor. So you know, is there actors that you both have worked with, maybe in separate films? And you know.
I worked with Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
And Ralph Bates. Eustace Stensgaard. Those are the Hammer actors. My favourite actors were my very first film was actually with Gregory Peck. It was a film called The Chairman. And I was sent along to be a student.
Right.
One line, which was cut. That was my very, very first experience with proper filming.
How did you feel about that?
Well, I loved it.
Yeah. Because I do know there's some people, they get given one line and they overanalyse their character and say, oh, it's one line, I really want to know this.
You know, by my age, I've got a wonderful age, I'm sent along, be a student with another actress like me, and that was fine. But it was quite repetitive, coming in and out of the door several times.
Not many people can say they've been on the same set as Gregory Peck.
Right. No, it was wonderful. So, I've worked with some actually wonderful actors. One of the things that's said on my Facebook page is how many good actors I've worked with.
Yeah.
One of my favourite actors was Freddie Jones. I've worked with just so many really fine actors and actresses. Yeah.
So the actors from the past with claret and the screen presence, as you say, you know, they're worth their weight in gold.
Definitely.
Yeah. So regarding yourself, certain people that you've worked with, experience-wise, names and stuff like that.
I loved Freddie Jones. We did a Godson and Simpson Playhouse with Charles Gray, and So when I got to work with him a second time, it was just wonderful.
Right.
And Charles was excellent. I had the pleasure as well with Tony Curtis and Roger Moore.
So these are some really caliber names that these ladies are mentioning, you know. So if you're familiar with finding things online, there's a thing called IMDb. And if you type these ladies' names in, you can then find out who they've actually worked with some of these names that, you know, that they're firing across us today. So it just shows, you know, the caliber of actors they've worked with, and also their standard on set as well. You know, because if you're on set with those sort of actors, you've got to stand your ground with them as well. So you know, it's props to you guys.
It is true,
especially if you get asked back.
Yes.
I did Confessions of a Window Cleaner. If you've seen that film, you've seen.
It's an 18, by the way. So yeah.
Is it?
I think it is now. Yeah. I think
serious film. I worked for a director there. The director was Val Guest, and I had already worked. No, I think I worked for him afterwards in a series called The Adventurer with Gene Barry, another Hollywood type actor, and it was very, very lovely to work with directors that I worked with before.
Yes.
I worked with a director on Crossroads. Some of your parents will remember Crossroads. One of my jobs that I loved, I worked with a director, and then he employed me later in a series called Blake 7.
I remember Blake 7.
It was always rather wonderful to be asked by the director you've worked with before.
I think if they see your sort of the way you come across on screen, and if you're carrying yourself well, you work well within the team, it makes their job easier, doesn't it? I think.
It does, but it's also it's your honour, really, to be honest.
Yes.
Even if you don't like the part.
Yes, 100%.
Well, for me, I did a play with Jack Douglas and a few of the others that I was with. And when I went on the set of Carry On Girls, there he was. And he went, "Oh, come on, they won't bite you, come on." And that was the end of it. Sid James, Albert Windsor, the whole gang.
Old school comedy actors, yeah.
Yes, I did a lot. And there was Bernard Wrestler. And for the first time, apart from Roger Moore, there was a man taller than I am. And I could look up at him. And he played really rotten throughout the film. Wherever our scenes were, he was right there going. and I'd go. And it became a joke for us because he says, "I'm always looking down at ladies, but don't always act like that." So that was good. It was an experience.
So altogether, work-wise within the industry, there's quite a lot of years there together, and some good productions that you both have worked on. Do either of you still sort of have a connection within the TV and film industry?
I'll just say quickly, I've done a few things. Another thing, I did a film called The Haunting of Margam Castle with Caroline Monroe. I did a wonderful film with Tony Robinson about dementia, but I do very, very little now. I do audio recordings quite a lot. I do a lot of audio because I became a television announcer for a long time, so I use my voice a lot. But I'm passing it over now to Pauline, who's actually done a lot more actual work the last few years.
But your voiceovers are worth, where do we hear your voice? Is it on adverts?
When I was younger.
Yes.
No, I did an audio play about women taking over the world with Maddie, who's coming here. She was in it too. It was
right.
An audio play.
Okay.
But it's something I really like doing is using my voice because I did it as an announcer for so long. When you do it as an announcer, you do presenting. You also do voiceovers for trails and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've sort of used used to doing not so much now, but whenever I get asked, I am doing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot now with voiceover stuff, especially with motion capture. There's a lot of voiceovers.
Yeah, there's a lot of video stuff there. I have done some. Well, starting back, I did radio fusion, television for the first time, commercial, some Coca-Cola. From Africa.
Okay.
And
some gate crushes there.
Yes, I love her. I think come back. Recently, I did The Manor, to which I was with Tony Marston. He's another actor.
Yeah.
And I played his boss. Only to find that early on this year, I did Witches in the Sand, which I was the most nosiest, notorious woman ever.
Right.
In its Witches of the Sand, so I'm waiting for that to come out as well.
Has that not been released yet?
No.
Okay. Is that a little more a TV series?
It's a comic book strip series.
Right. Okay. So it's not being developed onto camera as of yet?
It has. We've done quite a few. And
yeah.
A lot of. Oh, there she is. Could we be moved?
We need to grab another chair. Then
we get a chair. And Madeline is here. People say you might just.
Sorry, we'll move it down. It's cool.
So there can harass her.
Hi, Madeline. How you doing?
Hi. And
how was your journey?
Sorry.
Yeah. We've got it. We've got it. So
I'll just tell you.
Should we push it in a little bit there so we can get you guys all together? So what we've been talking about basically before you arrived, Madeline. This is Madeline, everybody. We've been basically about how you guys got involved in the industry, your favourite moments working, and sort of what other things you've been doing within the industry. So I can roll those questions to yourself now, Madeline. Yeah.
I don't want any water, darling. I don't want any water. I do not want any water. I do not want any water. I do not want any water. I am a vampire. I only drink blood. Hello, my sweetie. What were you going to ask?
The questions I was going to ask you, we got a bit sidetracked there, didn't we? The question I was going to ask you is, how did you start out in the industry before you got into Hammer House of Horrors?
Oh my goodness, you'll all have to spend the night here, I think. It was very convoluted. I left school and worked in a shop called Bieber. Immediately I left school, which was a fashion shop, wasn't it? And had a lovely time, and then I got spotted in the road as you did in the 1960s, didn't you?
So did you get headhunted?
Well, I got spotted in the road and put into films and answered ads in the stage newspaper and did lots of training, and then became a model with Lucy Clayton and had a lovely time modelling for about 18 months, and then I did a film with Ava Gardner and in 1969. And then I was offered to audition for Taste the Blood of Dracula.
So that was your first introduction to
Hammer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
Lovely. I had to ride on Jeffrey Keen's back, and I weighed about 4 stone, and he complained bitterly about how heavy I was. It was lovely. Lovely. It's a sweet film. Linda Hayden was the star, and I loved it. And then the next thing, I didn't audition, I was given the part of
on recommendation.
Emma.
Okay.
Well, I'd already met them all.
Yeah.
Emma in The Vampire Lovers. And the rest you know? Really?
Yeah.
Yes. And then about 2 years after that, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, which was a much better film. They're nodding sagely.
This sort of. So your experience there, it sounds like you got...
They were wonderful. The best opportunities that I had for acting were in the Hammer films, and that's the truth. They were the best parts, weren't they, girls? They were best costumes and the best parts, and that's the truth. Wonderful directors, marvellous opportunity.
So how long each one that you did? How long did that duration last?
I think I was a couple of days riding on Geoffrey Keane's back. In Taste the Blood of Dracula, because it was a brothel scene. Then Vampire Lovers, about 6 weeks.
Okay.
Same Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, which is quite a mouthful.
Yeah.
That was Dave Prowse in the rubber suit. That was, who else was in it? Oh, lovely Shane Bryant, who's died. And who should never have died. Lovely, lovely man. Yeah, he has died. How long ago was that?
Top of my head, I think. A couple of years ago, I think.
He lived in Australia. Has anybody, can I have hands up? Has anybody seen Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell?
Okay, there we go. So we've got to have a few hands up there. Hammer House of Horrors overall, I presume we've all watched something related to it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be coming around in a bit and doing some Q&As, and I'm going to be enticing you into asking these questions. But overall, your experiences, it sounds like an enjoyable time on set. You met some good people. You recommend it to go.
I need help here.
I must say, it was always terribly glamorous, and they looked after you very well, and we wore wonderful costumes. My first film was summer, all the way through, with beautiful hair, beautiful makeup, beautiful clothes. How wonderful that was for a young woman. That's right.
For me, it was the same. A lot of water went a lot of the time.
Well, sorry,
water.
Okay.
Bikinis. So it was midriff.
Was that Hammer Horror?
Yes, when I was wet in the cellar. Yes.
Right. Okay.
So, and they had to kill me. And so the sprinklers went on. They left me in that dungeon.
What, completely forgot about it?
Forgot me, went to lunch and came back and said, right, now it's time for you to get wet. We're going to kill you all. And they did. And yes, it was a suit, red outfit, red dress. And once it got...
It isn't glamorous.
So, it is, as far as they were concerned, but not...
But they were good times and good memories, and you met some good people.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I get a good feeling here, so I presume you all keep in contact.
People always say when we do things together like this, how well the rapport we have.
You do, yes.
We've not necessarily worked together.
Yeah.
We all love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, twice actually. You've forgotten well, one. No, we have worked, but no, we work together. We love each other. I mean, we do.
Yeah,
the Hammer ladies are phenomenal. And the Bond ladies as well, but they're often one and the same.
Yeah.
But they are brilliant. Yes.
So we're going to
60 years of Bond. Can you believe it?
So the Hammer House of Horror is sort of where you started out, from my impressions of what you've been speaking about. Well, obviously, I know you were in films, Pauline, and then yourself, you were in the other comedies. Confessions of a Window Cleaner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cancel now, but I did mention it earlier. I was also in a film called Percy's Progress. Does anybody remember that? Because also this lovely lady was that. You say,
Keep changing the names of these terrible films, like it's a 6 foot 1 inch above the ground world or whatever.
That's right. Percy's Progress.
St. Steve's, or
You went to that, weren't you? You could have been.
We were all in it for half a day, yeah.
I was in bed with Lee Lawson for a whole day. In bed with Lee Lawson. I tell you, Robin
For a whole day.
He did not come up, to coin a phrase, he did not come up to the same standard as Lee Lawson. I haven't said that joke before, actually. I've just thought about it, but I think it's quite a good one. Robin Ascot didn't quite come up to Lee Lawson's standard. I'm just practicing it for next time.
So I think I'm going to ping some questions over to the audience now because I'm looking at the time. Obviously, I'm going to go over the time because let's drop you onto there. But what I can I have a raise of hands of those who want to fire some questions at these lovely ladies. Don't be shy, because I'm just going to come in there and stick the mic under. There you go, at the back. I'm going to go over and give them the mic and then we'll answer their questions. There you go.
Hello there. I wanted to ask about Peter Cushing, because watching him on screen, me and my friends all loved him. Was he as much of a gentleman as he's always seemed to be?
Sorry, who was that? Sorry?
Peter Cushing.
Okay, so the question is, how was Peter Cushing? Because the gentleman who's saying that he seems like he was a gentleman on set.
There's two of us here that work with Peter Cushing, so I'll start off. I was with him in Twins of Evil. Now, he had just lost his wife about 4 months beforehand, so nobody knew whether he was going to actually do the film. When he did the film, he was very, very sort of sad and quiet, but beautiful and lovely, gentle. You said he seemed like a gentleman. He was a gentle man. He was really a wonderful person. The most amazing thing about him is what a great actor he was, because he was this gentle, withdrawn, bereaved figure talking to me at the side of the set. But when we got onto the set, his face changed. The director called action, and he was truly, truly terrifying to work with. If you know the beginning, the first 4 minutes, guys, you don't have to watch anymore. First 4 minutes of Twins of Evil, you will see exactly what I was talking about. Now I'm going to pass it over to Maddie, because she's also right.
Yeah, I worked with him. His mourning, or his state of mourning, went on a long, long time, and I don't know the comparable dates. Judy, when was yours? 71. Well, I think I did Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell in probably 72, and he was in a terrible state. I mean, he looked like a skeleton, bless him. And he just went into sort of hibernation with Shane Bryant, and they were talking in the corner and plotting this very detailed, a lot of scenes. And I just used to pad after them with my little basket of flowers in the lunatic asylum and keep quiet, really. He was a lovely man, but he was in a shocking, shocking state. I never really had any small talk with him. That was really for him and Shane. Because, as I say, in Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, I had to be deathly silent for all sorts of plot reasons. And I only found my voice at the end. So there was nothing that I would do that wasn't just, as I say, trotting around in their wake or sitting over dead bodies, staring into sheep's eyes and things like that. May I say that the sheep's eyes were very smelly. Shane told this story, that they were not put in the fridge over the weekend. Because Roger was full of quips and jokes, and me, not very much, and him in his dressing gown, well, you know, there wasn't much pretension.
Yeah, I've got to say that my two favourite lines from Bond.
Speak slowly, darling.
Okay, so there's a favourite line that he's got from films. If you just get this at the mic a bit closer, and you can go.
You hear me now?
That's better.
Ah, right. Yeah, it's where he unzips your dress with the watch, and
yeah.
he says, "Sheer magnetism, darling."
Sheer magnetism, darling.
Perfect.
And one of my very famous lines in my non-Italian is "Finalmente." You didn't hear that. Finalmente.
Filamente. Right, thanks for your time. Cheers, thank you. So we've got some good questions there. We're going to put a wrap on this now because we're sort of rolling over with time. So, moving on from your experience in the industry, on the Hammer House of Horrors and all your other sort of franchise and stuff that you worked on, do either of you, I know you still dip into the industry stuff, but have any of you thought the idea?
Of course we dip in. Dip in at a moment's notice. We're very good at it.
So, where I'm feeling this rapport between you, have you ever thought about writing something and putting something together, you know, mixing the two aspects, comedy and horror together, having like a dark comedy or something? Sorry, say again? I can do it, I'm writing one at the moment.
You're writing a script at the moment, and you've got a series, and this is why you've got to do it for us.
Okay, I'll do that then, I'll contact you on a later date. How about that?
Yes, I'm waiting to see.
I'd see these three on the screen together, wouldn't we? I definitely think we would, yeah? Because you bring a bit of horror and a bit of comedy into it as well, and I think it'll work well.
I think really so well. Too.
Because the Hammer name, we know that we are asked to do odd bits here and there because of the Hammer name, not necessarily because of our fabulous talent, which we do have anyway.
But there's a lot of talent with it as well.
We do. And
it's like
Madeline, which this gentleman was talking about. I only actually saw that for the first time maybe 18 months ago. And I was knocked out by it. It was fabulous. I mean, it was such a wonderful, funny, glorious. It didn't age at all.
No. So you have some fantastic memories between you, don't you? I can feel.
Comedy is my thing, to be honest with you. Although the Hammers were magnificent films, beautifully directed, and Roy Ward Baker, wow. He did, what was it about was it the Titanic? Something about, what was it called? He was very famous. Does anybody know the name? Roy Ward Baker's very famous, not Journey to the Bottom of the Sea or something. Something like that. So we've been very lucky. Who directed Twins of Evil, girls? Oh, he's lovely. He's still very alive. I love that.
no, he's around at the moment, but not working currently. He's setting up things for later date.
So it's been an absolute privilege to sit here with you three. Lovely ladies.
Thank you.
And are there any other questions as we're going to wrap this one up? So now's your time. If not, after I've done the Q&A, these lovely ladies are sat over the back end of the hall, and you can ask them some further questions or get some signings, signed pictures and stuff like that. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'm waiting for your script.
You're going to get it.
Talked about it anyway.
You will receive that script.
And I'm going to harass you.
I'm out of here. See you later.